Hey, what's going on, everybody? Scotty Boots here, back with a video. It's been a minute since I've done a video, but I had to come talk about a little something here with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney Plus. Obviously, if you follow my channel, you know I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I've got issues with the show, but there is one thing in particular which to me is the biggest problem this show has, and nobody is talking about this. So I had to share this here, and I've got a lot of problems with the show as it is. I was in a super fortunate position to have been at the red carpet premiere for the show, so that was super cool. So being out at Star Wars Celebration and then getting into the first panel, we got to go to the premiere, which was amazing, and the atmosphere in there was super infectious. So I was drinking the Kool-Aid pretty hard after the first two episodes, and was really liking it. And now after those digested, and after we've gotten these last three, more and more issues that I have with it, and I'm really just not liking it. There's a couple of things that I do like, but for the majority, there are issues all over this show for a magnitude of reasons, and virtually all of them you can make an excuse, and that's what I don't like. I don't like having to sit down and watch the show and then having to come up with some kind of an excuse to justify why this makes sense in my head. I just want to be able to enjoy the show for what it is and take it as it's being presented, not where I got to go through and look at every single thing and try to, make an argument or a case for it to make sense. And that's really what this show has been. And I don't think that can be debated at all, because if the argument came up about any of the issues in this show, you would immediately have to defend that. And by defending it, you're making that excuse to justify it in your head, because there are serious problems with this show that make zero sense. And you've got to make a way to justify it. And whether that be inputting this into the canon or just the silly choices that the show has, chosen to make. But the one thing in particular here, which to me is the biggest problem with this show that no one has been talking about at all, comes down to the fact that right from the get-go, we learn that Obi-Wan has disconnected himself from the Force. He buried his lightsaber, and he is off the grid entirely. Now, I know everybody's talking about that, and the whole argument around that has been, well, if he's doing that, how is he going to protect Luke on Tatooine if something happens, if he can't even defend or protect himself, so to speak? He's so disconnected that it took everything in him to be able to get Leia from falling. The lightsaber is buried. He's not going to get to the lightsaber in time if something came up that was rash, where he had to defend himself if someone found him, or protect Luke. I know that's been the argument, but the thing that's worse than that, 10 times worse than that, is he has disconnected himself from the Force entirely. He has buried his lightsaber, yet he's still pestering Owen to train Luke. What the hell is going on with this show? That is the biggest load of shit that could ever have been presented in this. He is so disconnected that he's not using the Force, buried his lightsaber to get rid of it, can't protect himself. It takes Leia being abducted just for him to even do anything to connect to the Force or go get the lightsaber, and he was reluctant to do that. Yet, he's that far disconnected from everything that he's going to still go up to Owen and try to convince him that we need to train Luke. We need to train Luke. This makes absolutely no sense. No sense at all, because now you've created a much bigger issue within the canon for everything. If he was pestering Owen to train Luke the whole time, it makes zero sense for him to have disconnected from the Force or got rid of his lightsaber, because those would be two essential things needed to train Luke. It's just so ridiculously stupid how this all comes together. And again, someone could sit down and make the argument even and be like, oh, well, when the time was right, he just disconnected until he had to train Luke. Okay, don't give me that bullshit, because that is a ridiculously lame excuse that you have to create and justify in your head to basically just deal with the silliness of what this is and force yourself to take it and ask for more, because it is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I had to talk about that because the show itself is driving me nuts, and I don't like where it looks like this is going to end. I might even do a follow-up video just with my silly predictions, which I don't even think they're groundbreaking news. I'm sure a lot of people have talked about it and stuff, but I might do a video just to say it, and if it compares with others, great. But yeah, man, I'm just not liking what a majority of this is. But I had to talk about that because to me, that's the biggest issue. The biggest issue. If you were taking the time to pester Owen instead of just wait until the opportunity was right, how are you going to be ready to train Luke? It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. So that'll do it, guys. I'll pop in here once in a while. I know I always say I'm going to keep making videos, and I try, but life is busy. So let me know what you guys think of the Obi-Wan show. Leave some comments down below. I'd be curious. I can't think of much that I like outside of a little bit from this last episode and maybe a couple little things, sprinkled in, but not so much for me. I think Ewan McGregor got done dirty, and I'm very surprised that he sat down and looked at this and agreed to be on Disney Plus of all places to present this. I'm so surprised by that, but nevertheless, if you guys are enjoying it, I hope you are. But that'll do it for this one. Catch you guys in the next video. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at Scotty Boots as well. We'll see y'all next time.